So can BEIDOU be a good hyperbloom trigger? Well, the answer is no, she can't. BEIDOU can really only trigger hyperblooms with her skill and the initial hit from her burst. After that, the lightning bouncing around between enemies from her burst will not trigger hyperblooms. And because of that, she is not a good hyperbloom trigger. However, in this particular team that I'm running behind me with Alhaitham, BEIDOU, Kuki, and Farina, it is very beneficial that she cannot trigger hyperblooms because it allows for the blooms to sit there waiting on Kuki to trigger the hyperblooms. And Kuki is a full EM build with Deep Woods memory, so she is going to be able to actually do a ton of aggravate and spread reactions between Farina applying Hydro, which is very good for BEIDOU and Alhaitham, but then Kuki is going to still be able to trigger every single hyperbloom outside of the ones from BEIDOU using her skill and initially hitting her burst. But Kuki is going to be able to trigger the majority of them to get the maximum damage from them while allowing BEIDOU to still have a crit electro build, allowing for her to do more damage. So BEIDOU not being a good hyperbloom trigger can actually be a benefit and not something that is negative to the team. And then, of course, whenever you bring her on the field, if you can time her counterattack through her E, you can just do another big instance of electro damage, especially getting like an aggravate in there too. You can do a lot with BEIDOU. This team was actually very, very fun to run, and I think I might do it some more. Of course, her burst does work better with multiple enemies versus a singular enemy, but this was still a really, really fun team. Now, if you like this video, make sure you comment, like, subscribe, all that fun stuff, and I'll see you in the next one.